And I think my first question sort of you know talks about that. You mentioned a good point that established OEMs have these processes, have a proper validation uh, sort of rule book, right, when it comes to launching a vehicle. But we have also noticed that first of all, if you look at it from a powertrain perspective, EVs are less complex. I mean, there's less number of components at least. So we know that compared to an ICE vehicle, they would just on paper, if everything is done well, have decent or better durability, right? But we've also been noticing in the past 2 years that even vehicles from established OEMs, and there are a lot of non-powertrain related failures, and a lot of them tend to point towards electronics. So that's an area that is increasingly, that's basically happening in even a very mass market vehicle these days. Do you really think how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel, how do we tackle something like that? Because there are a lot of recalls happening. India still doesn't have that, a robust process of vehicles being recalled, but there are international, countries there, they have a very robust process there. And we have been seeing that there are million, like thousands, almost millions of vehicles being recalled from OEMs such as Toyota. So what do you make of that?
I know what you have in mind, and I fully subscribe to that. Recall processes. Let's understand one thing that I have had seen roughly 7 to 8 historical launches, and 2 of them I have led, like Tata Ace and Xenon. I was head of service that time for a region or international business. Launch has got some issues coming up. Even with Apollo 13, we had problem, and those are known as, we should understand, cradle to grave theory of the entire life cycle of vehicle. And the point what you're trying to make is valid, that so far there are a lot of cradle failures, low kilometer failures, and there's a basic reason being very simple. We have not seen the life cycle of the vehicle as yet. Up to the grave, up to the end of the vehicle life, we should have seen 1 or 2 possible lives. But that is not possible today. The customer is not going to wait for 15 years by that theory. So point I'm trying to make is the accelerated testing. Like I'm told there is a recall by Kona, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 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 a major issue on fires. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you dwell on it, was what would have been the reason? So it's not easy. You know why? Like our body mechanism. I have now my many seniors and many people gone to hospital and say renal failure has started, or this organ has affected that organ, and things like that. And the entire body is a complex system. So is the vehicle. Until we are tested thoroughly and designed for it. And one of the point which maybe a little off the cuff remark, we believe till now the EV story is not the EV story exactly. It's a retro-fitment story. We have removed the engine and gearbox, etc., and try putting what you call motor controller and latest electronic devices. But please understand, even when you read a famous book of this thing, Wheels, and there you find that Mustang, when the famous Mustang was launched, it has so many teething problems. And the test track, and they were never happy when the Mustang was getting launched. Then one bright test driver told that you put a patch of weight there, and maybe it may be solved. A shudder at the speed of 89, 90 kilometers an hour may go away. See, look at the complexity of the automobile system. And many people have doing this mix and match. I will get the best motor, I will get the best control, I'll get the best gearbox and put it. No, it doesn't work that way because it just all has to be designed together. So probably I've answered the question.